Hello, welcome to Menacing MTG. Today we're back with a renewed version of Meet the Butcher. I had posted a video without sound accidentally, so I'm going to yank that down and put this up. But I continued to kind of tweak the content of this deck and feel like it's even more effective. So I'm going to run through this deck, but it's basically the goal is to get Dreadhorde Butcher and Dreadhorde Arcanist on the board. Those are the creatures that you want on the board. Everything else is complementary. And then the whole secondary vitality of this deck is with Dreadhorde Invasion and that army growing and getting to the point where it has lifelink and is deadly, and augmenting that. So let's talk about how these things work. So Dreadhorde Butcher, every time it attacks and does damage, it gets a +1/+1 counter. So in this version of the deck, I've got more things that I can attach to it permanently and temporarily. So let's take a look at those options. We can put 1-drop Demonic Vigor on this, and it's enchantment, and the creature gets +1/+1, and when it dies, return it to its owner's hand. So that immediately makes this more potent with that +1/+1, and when it dies, it does more damage by virtue of that, and you return it to your hand. Kaya's Ghost Form, also a 1-drop. You return it to the battlefield rather than to hand, but there's no +1/+1. So slightly different variants there, both helpful. And we've increased the number of instants to 6, 3 Infuriate, which is an amazing 1-drop. And then 3 Somewhat Sprint, also a 1-drop. The difference is that this, the creature gains haste and has a scry. So also we have Eternal Thirst, which would be a great item to add to the Butcher. It's an enchantment and gives the creature a lifelink, and whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 on this creature. So you know this again is a mechanism to get this guy rolling. You'd only put this on if you had a clear shot that upcoming turn, but yeah, another good option. Now these 3 instant sorceries here are available to come back into play when Dreadhorde Arcanist attacks. So if you have these guys attacking together, you can take one of these that you've already used and attach it. So then to kind of just talking about the Dreadhorde Invasion, things that bolster this, well, there's 4 copies, first of all, so that's bound to grow fast. Bastion of Remembrance, removing that is even more painful for opponents because, and for these Dreadhordes, because when they die, they do 1 damage to the opponent, you gain 1 life. Also, there's 2 of these in the deck, and also creates a 1/1 human creature token. So the more things that die, the worse it is for the opponent. 2 Call of the Death Dweller, so bring things back to the board, and you can put Death Touch and Menace counters on things. 1 Death Baron, if you get this on, all of these Dreadhordes, which are all zombies, get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. A Murderous Rider for removal. 1 Phyrexian Arena, just if you get this on the board, then you're going to be drawing an extra card every turn, and you lose a life as a result. 1 Bonecrusher Giant gives you a 2 damage instant and a big creature, and if the opponent chooses to remove this, it does 2 damage to the opponent. 3 light up the stage. You got to get the cards in hand, so that's a good mechanism for doing this. This deck can do some quick damage and get these light up stages moving, which again with Phyrexian Arena it is your card draw mechanism here. Judith the Scourge Diva, all creatures you control have +1/+0, and whenever a non-token creature you control dies, Judith does 1 damage to any target. Then we have, last but not least, Mangrath, Captain of Chaos. 2 of these planeswalkers in here give all your creatures menace. Additionally, it amasses 2 for its -2. Quick look at the mana base: 1 Castle Locked for card draw, 7 Swamp, 6 Mountain, 4 Blood Crypt, 4 Dragon Skull Summit, for a total of 22 lands. I also want to mention that there's 3 Blood Chief's Thirst in here for removal. Great card. And and Eternal Taskmaster, the other mechanism beyond Call of Death Dweller, for returning creatures to your hand. When it attacks, you pay 3. You can return creatures to your hand, namely these guys. Okay, so let's play some games. Okay, we're going to pick up this game right away. Just started this game, got 4 mana down. Just removed the almighty Bushwag with a Blood Chief. We've got the Dreadhorde Invasion rolling here, and we're going to swing in with him and hope he doesn't get removed, because we can play Light Up the Stage with 3 mana in hand. And we're going to use one of these to keep him from getting killed, and we'll take the Rider with the Scry. So this will do 4 damage. If I was to drop another one, he would get lifelink, but we're not going to use that now. So that's an additional benefit to running these instants. And they may come and remove him. Gruul is pretty scary because it moves fast, but he appears to be perhaps having a bit of a land problem. Okay, so we could put Infuriate on that, and I think it's probably worthwhile. That's going to waste a turn for him. Does waste some of my items as well, but now we're going to have to ditch one of these, and it's a tough call, but because we have nothing to use the Rider's instant ability on, we're going to put up the Bastion. And we've got one more somewhat in hand, so we can come in and swing. Remember that the invasion is doing us damage every time it builds up, so we want to get to lifelink fast, but this could save it again. They're going to destroy the enchantment, which is a major bummer here, but we've got 3 more in deck. We don't have any creatures brewing here. Going to get them down to 9, and we do have the Bastion, so this is reasonable. I'm sure they're going to get land and start bringing out some challenging items. With some wood in hand, we can okay, the Arcanist, so that's a bit of a problem. Now we can drop this. I hate to do it because these are just tokens, so we'll lose the benefit. So I think what we have to do here is, let's see what they got for instance. This is the problem here, is that when he attacks, he can bring this back and kill Bastion. So what I'm facing here is coming in and trying to do 5 damage to him. I could come in with both of them and kill him with either. I think we're going to do that. We got to attack and be aggressive here. He doesn't bite at all, so we can bring him down to 2 life. But we're just going to come in straight up. We are creature dry right now, which is a problem. We have all kinds of things to benefit an actual creature. So he will come in and he'll probably use the Return to Nature to get rid of Bastion, but he's in deep trouble because that hinges on us not being able to kill him next turn, which we can if he comes in, unless he has something else to run to put on the board as a blocker. He's just going to stay put, perhaps. He's kind of in a very bad spot here, and we get this. We're just going to come in again, and he's got a deep problem here. He's going to have to block something. He does block big. So we're just going to go ahead and kill him and remain patient here. If he does throw up an instant, we have Samut, and he does, so that's going to put him at a 6, so Samut is not even going to help us here. Okay. We're just going to go and knock him down to 4. 3, 18, okay, that's okay. If he can't play another creature here, oh, there's a mana, so that's going to open up perhaps some options for him. And he might be tempted here to come in with the Arcanist and kill the Bastion. Okay, that taps him out. This is an enchantment, just giving him +1/+0. We'll pass. Okay, interesting. So we're going to lose the token. But he's going to take a damage and I'm going to gain a life. That's okay. Come in. He's tapped. We get nothing. Okay, that's unfortunate. I don't believe we have anything we can bring back. Nope. No castle, no nothing. So we're stuck right now. And he'll come in now and probably kill Bastion. That would be a wise choice. He could stand to get some life gain. So we were in the driver's seat in this game, and we're just, for a 22 mana deck, we have 8 lands out of 18 draws, so that's very heavy. We only have 14 mana in the remaining 42 cards left, so the odds are good we won't get one. But you never know, and now they're off and rolling, running an Infuriate. And so Bastion will go away, but he still has 2 mana on the board. Here we go, ouch, double strike. So that's going to be 10 damage. We're not going to be able to withstand much of this. Oh, he can double strike again. So that's going to be game, I believe. Infuriate, so that's 8, I'll be down to 1. One life. Nice. So he's playing stunts that I would be able to play typically, but we're just not getting anything on the board. And it's looking like it's probably going to be fatal unless I can do something with haste here. Like I get the Arcanist, but that will get me out of the hole because I do have this, and he'll have haste. So that'll be the game. We skinny out of that one. And we'll even be able to run the Blood Chief in case he's got some trick up his sleeve. He doesn't, though. He has no mana, so there it is. So that's a victory, a close call there. Okay, here we go with game 2, and I'm excited by this hand with Butcher. We do go second, which is kind of a bummer, but we've got good stuff here. So we can put Eternal Lifelink on, Eternal Thirst on the Butcher. If all goes accordingly, they may have removal here. Nobody likes to see the Butcher come on the board. They're going to want to get rid of him immediately. They appear not to have removal, so we've got some options here. Like Demonic Vigor, for example. And they may be coming out to remove him right now. It looks like we got the option. They will do it. It's going to drop them down to 16. Okay, and there is another one which is exceptionally bad news because we can put Demonic Vigor, but we cannot put it on it. Darn it, because they were limited to 1 black mana. This is creating a big problem for them. So what I'm hoping for now is a black mana. If they can remove him, they will. They could also put the Rider up, but that's not going to be a big help because he doesn't know it, but I'll be able to eliminate him. But that will be a draw for him. He doesn't know that I'm carrying enchantments and instants to combat that. And that'll use all of his mana. He's looking at the card a lot. I'm hoping he'll play it. There it is. That's good. Alright, so now we're going to see what we get. So we have... Okay, we unfortunately didn't get black mana, so what we're going to have to do here is put the Vigor on. I think we're going to stop there and save the Sprint. And come in, and we'll see if he blocks. The block will help in so much as not allowing this Butcher to grow. And we're going to hold on to the Sprint. So if he does play something like do 4 damage or something, like an enchantment or some black spells, the creature gets -4/-4 till end of turn, we can put the Sprint on him. Okay, so he doesn't seem to have anything. So we do have the Sprint and the Thirst available, and we are hoping for black mana here because then we could use the Rider. And he's going to come in and get some life gain. That takes him out of the blocking scheme of things, which is not good for him. And now we have the Thirst available, but not. We can remove Daxos, which is really great. So that's what we'll do. He does have 2 mana in hand available. We still have Sprint available. He does have life gain, but it's only going so far at this point. Okay, that's a nice item, but he's only going to gain 2 life he may have to use Veto as a blocker here. And if I get a black mana, I can eliminate Veto and pretty much be in a wrap-up position here. We don't get the black mana, and we can't eliminate anything with this because of our limitation. So he's going to have to block. So what I'm going to do is, he's not going to have to block. But if he doesn't, then he's going to go. If he doesn't block, it's going to grow. And we've got the sprint in hand. Tough decision. He's going to let him come in, and we're just hoping they don't have Exquisite Blood in hand, because we would be done then. And that would be such an unfortunate thing, after getting to what point they're going to have mana to do that. And there is mana, but it's not fast mana. So we're in really great shape for this next turn. A fourth land would help. You know, we had a ton of land. Okay, that's a bit of a problem. He's going to create the Ajani, which is going to quickly grow. We need to get a mana because he's going to come in with the Rider. He doesn't even come in with the Rider, so this is just tremendously good news here. Question is, what is best to do here? I'm going to have to say remove Veto at this point. Can't mess around with Exquisite Blood, which I'm sure he's running in this deck. We do still have somewhat, we aren't going to need it. We're going to come after the Planeswalker, and they'll probably use a Ajani here. They could use the Rider and Gate of Life and bump up a Ajani, but they're in a bit of a hole. And he does use the Planeswalker, so that's fine. Depleting him. They do have 5 mana, so they have the ability to bring things on the board here. Got a good dose of lifelink there, and destroyed a creature which bumped him up to 8. So we're near fatal here when he dies. If he does die, it's near. Actually, if they do kill Butcher, I can throw the sprint on him and it'll be fatal for them. Not to mention the Butcher would come back to hand. So he's going to create another creature.
True friends always stand.
And we'll see if he comes in here. Does not want this to grow at all. He's now got enough to kill Dreadhorde and remain alive and have one of those creatures survive, so he may be tempted to go there, not knowing that I have Smut in hand. Okay, well that's good for them. Gaining more life, so it's going to make it more challenging for us as they get more creatures on the board. We can eliminate one thing. If we get a mana, yep, coming in here, that's probably good for me, really. Okay, light up the stage. tough call here. They're probably happy just trading off. So we can eliminate Daxos and come with the Butcher, and they'll have to block with the Pride Mate. So we could do that and bring Bastion out. Which gives us a blocker. Even better, I think, is having Angrath on the board.
Never seen water.
So we'll bring out the token, and now the Butcher has Menace, Lifelink. They have to block with 2 things, which will kill any 2, and they cannot eliminate him. So we're going to go ahead and attack. I think I'm going to come at the Pride Mate just because if they let him go, then it builds the Butcher. Yeah, you get a block too. So I'll gain a life there in that. Okay, so I'm happy with that. We grow a whole bunch here, so I could actually at some point kill myself, but they are gaining life, so, and they'll continue to gain life here. Okay. The Pride Mate's gotten big, so that is a bit of a problem. Continues to grow. Menace presents a big problem for them here. Yeah, they got a lot of mana now. They got a lot of life going here, so this is a really good game. We got a lot of good elements occurring here. We get a land, which is great, because it equates to being able to eliminate something. We'll bang this guy up. So now he's a 4/4 coming in with Menace. They can't block them both. We do have this. We could do this. Light up the stage. We're going to do damage here. We're going to have to come in with both of these creatures. So I can eliminate this right now with the Thirst for 1, which is going to present a major problem for them. So what we're going to do here is put this up. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and kill Pride Mate. And bump up the bird is okay. Then we're going to come on in with both of these, and we're going to come in at the Pride Mate, the Planeswalker here, and we have the sprint available. So they're losing that. We're gaining a bunch of life, and they're going to lose one of these creatures at minimum. And okay, so they're going to let them both come. Their source of life gain is reduced pretty dramatically. And there you have it. So I'm going to guess that they're going to come at the Planeswalker with the Flyer, but they're going to be in grave condition unless they can bring something pretty significant onto the board. We've not got the mana to bring the Rider on. and come in and attack and light up the stage, even if the Planeswalker's gone. They're in a tough spot, but depends on what they have in hand. Okay, another Patrician. That may free them up to come in with the bird for the Planeswalker. They've got their hands full. They may just sit. It appears they might be just sitting. Tough decision. They have one card in hand, so they're going to eliminate the Planeswalker and be limited to 2 creatures. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's a poor choice. They do have a card in hand here, so I'm going to roll the dice right here. Ooh, and we get the Bone Crusher. Okay, so
I've weathered tougher storms than you.
This is going to be a big problem for them. And we have the Bone Crusher, the Rider. So they can block the Butcher with the Patrician. It'll bump this guy up. They've only got one card in hand, so we're going to just bring them both. Now, I'm not sure they'll block at all. Okay, so we're going to light up the stage here, which will leave us with 4 mana still. And put up the castle, and we're going to put up the Rider, and we're going to stop right there. We're going to save that somewhat for next turn. Ooh, okay, veto, and they don't have the mana to drop an Exquisite Blood, but we're going to have to find a way to get rid of that if at all possible. I believe we'll be able to eliminate them next turn if they were to attack with much here, or certainly put them in a position where they have to block. So they're just going to stay put, perhaps. 52, that's not doing them, any good at all with 52. So if we get the Planeswalker again, which we have another in the deck, then that's probably going to be fatal for them. Going to have to apply some pressure, and he's considering but 1 life. It's not worth it for them. Okay, I love that. So we're going to immediately do that. And we have, that's excellent because we are coming with 4 things. We have the Bastion in hand. Killing things is going to hurt, especially this. And they don't know that we have the Sprint and the Giant's ability in hand. So here it comes. This is a great kind of climax here. So this is going to, they're going to gain 1, but this is going to be fatal. Yeah, they don't have enough to crack lifelink with this guy, otherwise they could survive. So here's what's got to happen. We could put it on this guy, but what we're going to do is put it on this guy so he dies and can whack him. That's a nice card to get in hand. It's been a long time for us not to get that. We're going to kill Veto as well. This is going to be beautiful. So they're down to 2, and this dies, and we kill them in a big way. There it is. An excellent game. Good display of what its deck's potential is. We'll play another. Okay, here we go, game 3, and just starting right up here, it looks like a pretty reasonable deck, as we're going to be able to put the Taskmaster up on the board, and we'll be able to follow up with the Death Baron. And we've got a little Dread Horde across the board as well here with Grim Initiate. And they're going to take him off. Wow, that hurts. That definitely hurts. And okay, this is exceptionally good news. So we've got insurance here in the Infuriate and Samut, in so much as they can fend off an instant directed at him. And they're going to come right at him with the shock, and we're just going to bring on... They may have another one, but they're going to have to use it. And it's going to hurt if they do kill him. And they're not going to be able to kill him, which is exceptionally bad news for them. They're going to need to use the Initiate to block with. But I've got another stunt for them. So I'm wondering if we're going to have a Cavalcade of Calamity in our future, and they will let it come in. Okay. So we will not block with the Death Baron at all, ever here. Okay. But what they do not know is that we have some major instants in hand here. I'm going to let that come in tapped. They certainly are not going to block with Torbran, so they're going to have either have to allow the Butcher in, or they're going to block and die. Okay, yeah. No big loss for them. I do have protection for both my creatures to some degree in hand. We just replace him. He's a non-red. They may choose. Okay, there's the Calamity. They may choose to come in. I doubt it. Another Initiate, that's good. They got another blocker there. Okay, they are going to come in, and we are going to block. We're going to block the Spitter over here. And if they have an instant, we have an instant as well. And they lose him. I lose him too, because I just totally spaced out that they have the Torbran, so that was very unfortunate. Okay. And we'll be coming in. And he'll probably just block with the Initiate, yeah. So we got a bit of a problem going here. Wow, I have lost this game just to pure stupidity. Pure stupidity. Wow. Incredibly bad. Well, we'll take care of this guy, and we're going to be quickly dying here. Wow, if I had thrown an instant on him, I would have been able to kill Torbran. So, but I didn't. Two mental lapses there just cost me this game, really. Both the Death Baron and the Butcher. But that's the reality. You gotta be thinking things through, and I was not. So they're going to do a pretty whopping amount of damage. Not quite. Yeah, fatal. That's fatal. Good game. Alright, so there you have it. That's the consequence of not paying attention. Hope you enjoyed the deck. Please subscribe, leave feedback, a like. Any suggestions for deck building would be great. Okay, have a great one. Thanks for joining.